hopefully to represent Picture the Homeless as best I can. I want to go on the last note of statement, but first I would like to point out that the mission, I want to take an excerpt from the mission of Picture the Homeless, the mission statement. And in that excerpt, it is challenge the root causes of homelessness. So this is what is in the mission statement of Picture the Homeless. So we can talk about a lot of things, but we want to deal with the root causes of the problem. And we want to address that. Now, in the last statement, I just picked that up as we was answering these questions, and I want to thank, on the behalf of Picture Homeless, for the councilwoman Patricia James being here and representing the other council members, and the pastor
John Wesley.
For allowing us to be here, and everyone else for coming out, Tom Angadi and the Hunter College and the CVH. We want to thank everybody. But on this last statement, with all due respect, we said we want to identify what the problem or what is out there. And it just hit me, just when that was stated. What is out there is people living in the streets, on the trains, Grand Central, Times Square, on the bridges. They're homeless. Some is homeless for one day, just starting out. Some for a few months. Some for 1 year. Some for 3 years. Some for 4 years. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We know what is out there. People who have been living out there for years. And we're still talking about the time factor that we have to do. We don't have the time factor to play around with this thing, because we got an explosive situation in our hands. We got a powder keg getting ready to explode and blow up. I don't know how many of us are aware of the French Revolution, which was a very bloody revolution, and the seriousness of that. And that was about the haves and the have-nots, the rich and the poor. Which out of that came the Robin Hood thing, robbing from the rich and giving to the poor. Do we really have a lot of time to be playing around with this matter when there are people who are frustrated? I hear people talking crazy talk. We ain't got to worry about the terrorists from outside taking us, because you think that history repeats itself, and those who fail to understand the past is compelled to repeat it. And so Rome wasn't taken down from outside because it was too powerful. And America is not going to be taken down from outside because it's too powerful. If it's going to be taken down, it's going to be taken down from within. By its ignorance and its neglect to deal with an epidemic that is not just affecting this city, but it's nationwide. So we have a solution in the city hall, and the city hall been sitting around for a while. And we know that, we understand that 27 to 29 council support this bill, Intro 48. But what we need is the council to see to it that this Intro 48 is put on the table so that it can become law. And that every year it will be the law that account has to be taken. And what that does is it makes it possible. Well, actually, really what we're doing when we get that, that's a step toward preventing homelessness, because there's such a thing as an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Has anyone ever heard that before?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So why are we trying to deal with the cure? Let's deal with the prevention and stop homelessness by putting, this man over here, Marcus, made a very good point about the sweat equity.
Yes.
And that's what we need to do, because we say we ain't got the money. The reason why we have this count with Hunter College with Mr. Angadi is to show and prove that it doesn't take that much effort or time or money to make this count of these abandoned buildings.
That is true.
And what is the solution to this problem of homelessness? housing, housing, housing. So if we have just one person that is homeless, meaning that we're talking about counting, that's one too many. Yeah. We got to get with the business of putting people in housing, because why? Housing is a human right. Housing is a human right. Housing is a human right. As well as eating is a human right. Eating is a human right. Eating is a human right. And sleeping is a human right. Sleeping is a human right. Sleeping is a human right. Do you hear me?
Yep.
Why did I say that? Because those things go hand in hand.